this video is about my true self and my faith. So, what we're going to get into today is unnatural and natural affection. So, I want to begin this video talking about how we feel things that are natural, but unnaturally we disregard them. Because we don't want to feel embarrassed, or we don't want to put our burdens on other individuals. But this is why we have panic attacks. This is why we kill ourselves. Because we're afraid to express what we actually feel. We're not pretty when we cry. We don't know who to trust with our feelings. Because you're weak and vulnerable in those times. So then we have strokes. We kill ourselves. We are not real in our atmosphere because we don't trust who we're around to give our feelings to. I could say that maybe I'm hurting right now, maybe because my mom passed. I can put it on a lot of things. But I just want to cry. I want to cry. And it's okay. And I want to tell you, it's okay for you as well. When we cry, it's out of anxiousness. We cry because there can be a fear. We cry because we may not be ready for something. We cry because we hurt. We cry because we're overwhelmed. When you do not let go of your cry, happy, sad, mad, overwhelmed, whatever it is, what you do, you can have a swelling in your body. You can have something that shouldn't be contained. You're containing it, thus it becoming a form of something that you're going to express later on. Trust me, you will express it later on. And it may be on the wrong person. It may be inflicted on yourself, but you're going to get it out. I don't want you to cut yourself. I don't want you to kill yourself. I don't want you to lash out on somebody you should be showing your vulnerability to, because they don't know what natural affection is. So I was going to end with this, and I may still end with it. Walk in the spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. So the lust of the flesh will tell you, don't cry around these people. They gonna see you as vulnerable. They gonna see you as weak. You supposed to be the strong one. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such there is no law. So when we talk about natural and unnatural affection, I'm going to go to 2 Timothy I'll begin at the beginning, which is the first verse. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. We'll stop there. We label so many things. We label ourselves with having panic attacks, being narcissistic, jealous, proud. Proud and pride are two different things. Being proud of who you are and having too much pride in who you are that you deflect or project something on the other person. Those are different realms of being. I'm not going to get too much into that, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. So when you boast and you brag about things that you have, and you put other people down to lift yourself up, and we have a lot of videos out here, and don't get me wrong, I'm proud of a lot of you guys who are pushing through adversity and making a life for yourselves and building businesses. Those things are great, but when you lose yourself to where you have no affection or kindness or sensibilities to give affection to the next person, you lose who you are. Because then we want to start stepping on the next person or being a crab in a bucket, pulling somebody down so that you can pull yourself up. That's not how you show natural affection. Matthew, let's see here. So I wanted to go into anxiety because I was talking to one of my good friends or sisters. We have a sisterhood, and basically I used to have panic attacks, and let me not even say used to, because I've only had like one or two. But I never thought I would experience that because I've only been around one person who's had a panic attack before, and she was she worked in a rental office at a place that I live. And she said, walk outside with me, I'm having a panic attack. And I didn't know what that was, but I walked outside with her because I naturally care for people. Naturally. That's just who I am. I'm not going to denounce who I am or who that other person is for anybody. So I walked out with her, and I remember her crying and panting and, just trying to calm herself down, and we walked. And I remember when I had my panic attack, I was in the doctor. Excuse me. A lot had happened in my life up until that point. I remember being in college and going off a couple of times. In life, you get to those points where you've had enough of something and you just want change. And those are the times that we suffer in silence and we don't let anybody know. And the first thing that happens is the doctor prescribes you Ambien or whatever antidepressant. What I chose to do was work out. I worked out, my life became better. It did become better. But I'm gonna read Psalms 34 and 17. So I'm just gonna tell you how to work through when you're going through these emotions. Sometimes you need to just cry. Sometimes you need to just go somewhere and yell. Sometimes you need to just go somewhere and just stomp and yell and cry. And it's okay. Stop worrying about who's around you. Just like when you're in the church and somebody is doing a holy dance and you're wondering why you can't do it and you stomp and yell and cry, it should be just the same. Whatever worship you have, God sees it, right? When you feel something, God sees and knows that as well. So you shouldn't shut that up. He gave you these natural affections to show them because you care. And that's what affection means. Let's go to that first before we go to Psalms. So when we talk about affection, the definition of affection is a gentle feeling of fondness or liking. But when you click on psychology, it says physical expressions of affection. Now this is more, it says they are lonely and they crave affection. So that's kind of a negative connotation, right? Because it says they are lonely. Whereas the first one said, excuse me, let me go back to that. Affection. A gentle feeling of fondness or liking. That's not all that affection is. That's not all that affection is. It's not bottled up into this little bit of something. A gentle feeling or fondness or liking. The world would like you to believe that affection is something to off-put, you know. If you are all under your maid or you show PDA, that's doing too much, and why they gotta hold hands, they think they cute, and all this other kind of stuff, like, you know, kissing your maid. And I remember, you know, when my mom passed away, like in the funeral, my husband was kissing me. He was kissing me, like, I mean, and I appreciated that because I know what his kisses meant, you know, while I was going through my rough time. And we don't have those people to understand what display of affection that we're in, you know. So after reading that, I'll go to Psalms 34 and 17. Psalms 34 and 17 reads, "The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth and delivereth them out of all their troubles. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous. So do you understand that? Many are the afflictions of the righteous. So when you feel that you can't cry, you can't laugh, you can't be sad, you can't be joyous, you can't, have all these different parts of you show, what kind of person are you? What kind of person are you that you need to hide certain parts of you because you're around certain people? That's not good. So then when you go off on someone and you don't know why, and that's not of you, that's not like God, that's not image bearing, you're wondering, I don't know, I lost myself. You lost yourself a long time ago because you didn't give in to the affections that you felt when you were around regular people, or when you were feeling what you were feeling to be regular to yourself, And what's off-putting is a lot of things that we see on TV, a lot of these celebrities, a lot of people that we want to be like or idolize, that we're making gods above God. We forget who we are. And we think that striving and thriving means I can't cry. I got to be strong. I have to get through this and I have to get through that, and I can't cry about it. I can't laugh about it. I can't be humble or whatever. That's not what God is calling you to do. He's calling you to be His. He's calling you to be an image bearer. He's calling you to show gratefulness, humility. He's calling you to feel substance, feel, satiated in His love, things like that. He's so much more. You're so much more. So when you lack or don't show what you feel, who you are, because of who's watching you, your children, whoever it is, then you show them that they can't be vulnerable. Show people who they can trust. A person can trust someone who knows themselves. A person can trust that person. Know who you are, know what you're feeling, be okay to be in that moment. I'm going to go to Galatians 5:22. I probably should just get my phone, but I would rather like it from the Bible. Galatians 5:22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. And they that are Christ have crucified the flesh with the affections or passions and lusts. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Let us not be desirous of vain glory, provoking one another and envying one another. So, again, for those of you who are being labeled as narcissists, who are being labeled as having panic attacks, depressed, or, all these different sicknesses that somebody wants to plague you with. Let me say it that way. Seek God. Seek God. And as you know better, you can do better. So I'll tell you this. You may not want to cry in front of certain people, right? And that's the right people. Let's say you're doing business. You may not want to show your vulnerability, but to a certain degree. Because if you can do everything on your own, you would need to make certain business deals or business moves. If you can do things on your own, 9 times out of 10, when you're making moves, you need somebody to help you make those moves. So your vulnerability may need to be put to the side in those different arenas, or whatever. When you're dealing with friends, people you really, really call friends, when you're dealing with family, you should always be able to be vulnerable around family. If you're around family members where you cannot be yourself, I suggest you get God to show you who your family is. I can't tell you how to get to a place where you don't have to be vulnerable, but all this feminist movement, women run the world, men who don't cry, and that's why we have such high suicide rates, and everybody done had antidepressants. Everybody's had antidepressants. I mean, this life is real. And if you're not willing to experience the ups and downs and feel what you're feeling when you're feeling it, you have a problem. You have a problem. You have to be able to be human in any given time. I pray that you bear good fruit. I hope this is a video that helps test your faith in your friends, in yourself, in God. Being anxious, did I go over that one? I think that was the one for Psalms 34 and 17. No, that's the righteous cry for help. Okay. Yeah, so let's do anxious. Philippians 4 and 13. I can do all things through Christ which strengthen me. Notwithstanding, ye have well done that ye did communicate with my affliction. Okay, and before that, verse 12 says, I know both how to be abased and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed, both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. When you can do all those things, and I believe this is Paul, because it's Philippians. When you can do all those things, to show us how he rejoiced at their liberties towards, okay. Yeah, this is the epistle of Paul. So, Philippians is a small book. So you may want to read that, Galatians and Philippians, but that should let you know how to be abased and how to abound, how to rise up above and how to be at that lowly point where you're not elevated above what you should feel, what God gave you as a sense of nature, what you should naturally feel, you know. But I didn't want to make this too long. I hope this helps someone. I just wanted to come as my raw self, and I push you to be as raw. Feel what you need to feel in that time so that you don't lash out on the wrong person, so that you don't get swelling in your body, so that you have peace of mind, so that you can move forward to the next thing. If you're feeling something, and I'll just say for the sake of this video, if you need to cry, cry. It's okay. It's okay. You know, I'm not trying to cry and look like Mariah Carey or, you know, Beyonce or whatever. Everybody has bad days, and, you know, I don't try to look to be like anyone else, and I'm not gonna be embarrassed if what I'm feeling on the inside needs to come out and somebody sees it, because I don't want the wrong side of that to come off on somebody who needs me to be there for them. So I say all this in love. Again, I hope this blesses somebody, and y'all stay true. Love y'all. Bye.